So this evening, we're going to recognize 5 award recipients, 3 individuals and 2 organizations that have done outstanding work to boost diversity and inclusion in the greater tech ecosystem.
Thank you, Cedric and Frida, for starting these awards and for making tonight happen. Since 2013, when we started focusing on inclusion in tech with intention and intensity, diversity in tech was all too rarely considered and discussed by many in the sector. And in the last few years, we've seen some progress, but there's still much work to be done. Our hope is by lifting up our award recipients as shining examples of integrity, courage, and vision, others will be moved to continue and perhaps to begin to do the hard work of making the tech sector look more like the best of the United States, one where all voices are valued.
I just wanted to touch on why we're here tonight, because all too often we only hear about problems in Silicon Valley, and there are plenty of them. Every once in a while, Frida and I write an open letter, for instance, about some of those problems. It's easy to forget there are people who are really innovating on all the things that we care about. And tonight, by celebrating some of those people and recognizing them, we are reminded that there are actually many reasons to be hopeful. And so it is important that we spend some time lifting up ideas that are working so that others can be inspired as well. And that's one of the purposes of the evening.
We are here. We're right at the 1-year anniversary of this building. Cedric and his team are responsible for hosting more than 100 events in our space of community organizations in our first year, and that's exactly what we intended. So we want Oakland and this building as a hub in Oakland, but we wanted Oakland to be the center of tech done right.
It is so great to be in this room. As you said, there has been a lot of talk about diversity in tech, but not a lot of action, as the song goes. A little less talk, a little more action. What Mitch and Frida and the entire team at the Kapor Center for Social Impact are doing is they are putting the action in. And you cannot do it fast enough. Our economy, our society, our country is not going to advance unless we solve this horrible problem. The problem of not having all of the talent, the life experiences, the diverse perspectives and identities of the full spectrum of effort, of innovation at the table. And we have not done that. We have so much work to do, and it is important for each and every one of us. What you are doing is brave. What you are doing is needed. And I particularly enjoy that we are here to celebrate success, to lift up examples of what worked, to inspire the rest of us to follow suit. And I am so honored to not just be the mayor of the home of the Golden State Warriors, but to be the home of the Kapor Center for Social Impact. Thank you for choosing Oakland. Thank you for sharing our vision, because it is not yours alone, that this is the place where we will see tech done right. Thank you.
I'd like to welcome to the stage our 2017 Impact Award recipients, Ana Roca Castro, Reagan Patterson, Therese Lawless, Shaun Tai. Unfortunately, Leslie Miley was unable to be here with us this evening. He called shortly before the program, but he's with us in spirit and maybe even on live stream. Hey, Leslie. Welcome the Impact Awardees to the stage, as well as moderator Megan Rose Dickey.
First of all, shout out to the video producers. Like, one more time, I mean, they did an amazing job. And Joanne called me and said, we just want to film what you do. And I'm just come down, let's just go around. And then we went out to the Fruitvale. And then the clip right there. And Yudi, I want to shout out my colleague Yudi there. And part of the question was what inspires me, and it's actually being around, actually our students, our interns just stand up for a second, please? Yeah, those are 4 of our current interns from around the Bay Area doing work in Oakland to make the community better. And I asked both of them, why do you think Oakland Digital is different? Because it's not about me, right? And he said, because we're changing the world through creativity, right? And I think that that's super powerful. If you ask young people in Oakland, why do you love Oakland? They say it's original. People copy us, right? And I think it's that the youth, the young people, their spirit that, like Tupac, Nishant over there did a mural, Inspire Oakland, about the rose that grew from the concrete. And how young people can break through all these barriers to inspire the world. I just watched the Tupac movie, which I actually loved. But I really believe all the youth in here can change the world. And I've seen it. And so for me, it's the young people and the influx of young people that really want to change the world. That's what inspires me every day. Diversity, and I really mean this, is much more than numbers. And it's much more than skin color. And I will say that diversity to me is the team you work with day in and day out. So when we were at Facebook yesterday, Lisa Sai, a board member, raise your hand, Lisa. She's a product designer at Facebook, Oakland native, Oakland resident here. And we're like, how do we actually get young people not just to go and have free lunch at Google and Facebook, which they have the CSR initiatives, but how do you actually get talent like Lisa and Carol Ann, who's also in Oakland, product designers, to work with our young people? Because I know, when I used to do a hip-hop TV show, you'd have like one of the OG rappers, and you bring in a young kid, and you'd be like, dude, I want a verse with Too Short, right? And that was their dream. So the new dream, the new hustle is, how can I get next to Lisa Sai and learn from Lisa? Thank you. Round of applause to Lisa, for real. And all the students behind there, they've been to Twitter working with their UX team. We went to LinkedIn and met with Amy Parnell, who's the head VP at the UX team at LinkedIn. We have hackathon at Google. So when I say we're going, we're working with employees that work there. That's diversity. And I think that that's very powerful, is sit in a room for 8, 10, 12 hours on a consistent basis. That's how you solve the problem. You don't solve the problem of roundtables. You don't solve the same problems with the same diversity and tech initiatives that have happened for 10, 20 years. You have to engage with the young people. It's no one wants to hear the real answer, but it takes time. It's hard. It's difficult. You need leadership. Shout out to Mayor Schaaf, by the way. Super awesome. Shout out to Mayor Schaaf, for real. Thank you. We actually have to talk to people. And that's what I want to do in the next 12 months, is talk to more people. And I also want to point out, TechCrunch is a big part of the solution, too. So when we were earlier at the Crunchies this year, we were representing Oakland, and collectively we're very powerful. And I think to have our muralist, our students, we rolled in with 20 students. And by the way, I love bringing students around, because that's the future. That's the people that we should listen to. We should listen to the students, right? And so when I was at TechCrunch and the amount of effort you guys put in to making attention to diversity and technology authentic, I thought it was great. And I just really want to shout out TechCrunch for that.
Cool, thank you. Appreciate that. But if you could just talk a little bit about the history of digital in Oakland.
That's really fascinating. So we started in 2008. Kim and we met in 2008, and there was like ask.com, there was Pandora, and that was basically it. I think there was like Oakland Local was a blog that's not around anymore. But that was like 2 or 3 things. And then we said, well, how do we help businesses with technology? Very basic. And then we thought about design and creativity. And then the more and more I talked to young people, it was less and less about technology, but it was more and more about opportunity, right? So I keep getting back to the pairing of talent with young people. It's not going to scale big, and it's not going to scale nationwide, but in Oakland, that's what we need, right? And I do want to talk about Google and their investment in Oakland Digital, because What they told me was, Shaun, we see creativity can change the world. And we see that you've been doing it in Oakland now for 8, 9 years. How do we scale that nationwide? And the reason I'm bringing that up is those students in the back are working on a product funded by Golden State Warriors and Google. So thinking about their resume, their portfolio, their eyes opened to opportunity, that's life-changing. And now I know we can't take on 100 students, but that's the kind of opportunity, these micro opportunities that have high impact. That's what I think we need to do more about in Oakland. It's not about just thousands and thousands of students, but taking 10, 20, 30, and just planting those seeds. You can't stop me, Tupac Shakur. You know, like straight up, like, and so like I really believe that planting those seeds and that no one can destroy, because the young people have a lot of talent. You just gotta give them those opportunities. So that's it. Thank you.
Great.